This is a dynamic hip hinge that you could try for sort of flexibility and general flexibility in the hips, the knees, the ankles and everything, but also to try and maintain a sort of a feeling of posture while you're doing it. So begin by having your feet about hip distance apart, maybe a little wider. I'm going to turn sideways on so that you can see the shape that the body makes. Okay, so we want to get a little bit of hinge right at the top of the legs. So feel you're sort of pushing back, where your legs meet your pelvis is where you want to push back a little bit. So just taking your weight back and forward. So we're getting good hinge action right at the top of the legs. So it's not the same as rounding the back forward or bending over and letting the back fall. We want to maintain the same shape in the back. So we've got a little bit of a lumbar spine curve here and a feeling of connection through the front to the back. So they're just joined together like buttons on a mattress, so that sort of idea, like we do in the cat stretch, same kind of idea, so that we keep the body about the same and we just hinge in the hip and come back. And then we could use the arms just for a little bit of counterbalance, so hinge at the hip and then bend the knees, but keep your shins perpendicular, so the lower legs are perpendicular, and then coming back up and hinge. And we use the arms to come forward just as a sort of balancing mechanism. And think about the back of your thighs, so as you come up, just pull up the back of the thighs to straighten the legs. So we're getting that sort of connection through the back of the legs to the hip, and not just relying on the quads at the front, because they're very strong and they'll work anyway. You're just feeling, as you exhale, feel nice stability through the body, squeeze to come up, and exhale, and squeeze to come up. Good. So that's a really nice dynamic way to move the hips, the knees, the ankles, and a lot of other things as well. You could go a little bit lower, but we just keep it quite small to start with.